Hello again, welcome to CodeDesign Academy. This is Manjunath, and in this video I'll be showing you how to connect your form built with CodeDesign to a database. A form is an important aspect of your web page. You'll be using a form to gather feedback and customer details from your customers. So in this video I'll be showing you how to add a form to your page and how you can connect that form to a database. So let's get started. So on my screen, you can see a design which I have already built. Now I want to add a form to this particular design. So on the right, you have the design tab, and we have a lot of different components here. So if you click on the form category, you'll find a lot of different designs that we have built already. If you click the show more button, you will find a few more. So you can either use any of these designs which have already been pre-built into CodeDesign, or you can start from a very minimal component. So if you go to the elements tab, you have a form block here. So you can also use this. This is pretty much minimal, but it gets the job done. So I'm going to just drag and drop this into this blank space here. And now we have a form. So you can add additional details to this form by going to elements, and we have a lot of form elements here like input field, buttons, etc. So you can add any of them, like if you want to expand on this form, that's completely possible. But for the sake of this video, let's stick with something very minimal. Now the next task first is to add a database to this form. So to add a database, we'll be using this module on CodeDesign called functions. So I'll just show you a quick intro of how to do it. So select the form element, select the outer form element to which you want to add the form to. So then head over to the functions tab here and click on it. So functions is a module where will be all the dynamic events which happens on the page. Functions is a place where you will be adding all of them. So under functions, we are going to click the choose an event button. So we have a lot of events here, and I'm going to go with the when elements form is submitted, this particular event. Okay, now we are going to create a brand new function. What the function will be doing is it will be sending the data from the form to the database. Let's see how we can do that. So I'm going to click on this choose a function button, and underneath that you will find the option to connect database to form. It's a pre-built function, so I'm just going to click on it. So we have a function name here, connect database to form. So you can replace it with gather customer email. Okay, you can name your function anything. So I'm just going to keep it very simple. Next, we have an error message here which says this particular project doesn't have a database. So I'm just going to click on this create a database button, and that will take us to the database workspace. Okay, so we were in the design workspace before this. Now we are in the database workspace. Now I'm going to click on this create database button. So what is happening under the hood is that we are adding a database to this particular project. Now we have added the database. Database has been successfully created. So we are going to create a table for this database. Since we are connecting the data of users, I'm going to just name this table users. For the description, I will just enter a generic description, user data. Okay, you can just give any sort of description. Now we'll be adding the primary field of this database. So primary field, like you could think of a table as an Excel sheet. Okay, an Excel sheet has columns and rows. So the fields are the columns of this particular table, and the data which your customers enter, they are the rows of this Excel sheet. I hope that makes sense. So the primary field you could think of as the columns, and I'm going to add email as my primary field. You could choose anything, but for this video I'm just going to go with email, and I'm going to click on this create new table. So we are creating a new table with the email as the primary field. Okay, so now we have added a new table, and now it's just a single field. I'm going to add more fields. Like we want to also collect the name of the user. So I'm just going to write name here, and for the type, I'm just going to select text. We are going to leave the default value as it is because we do not need a default value. And now I'm going to press the Save Fields button. Okay, now we have added two fields, email and name. Next, you could manually add the data here. Okay, you can press this add data button and you could manually add the data, but since we are using a form to add data to this database, you could head back to design tab. Okay, now we are going to click on this form element and we are going to head over to function. We are just going to do it again since we want to add it. Now we are going to head back to the design tab and we are going to add the function. We are going to create the function for this particular form. So I have selected the form element here. Next we are going to go to the functions tab and we are going to select the elements form is submitted event. Now from the drop down I'm going to choose connect database to form. We are going to leave this as is, and now we are going to choose the table here. So you can see the users table that we created previously. So we have to map this input field to the database field that we created earlier. So the first name and last name we will be connecting it with the name field, and the email input will be connecting with the email field. Yeah. So whatever field you have added, input field you have added here, we'll be mapping it with the database table field. Okay, so if you have more fields, you will have to add more fields to the database also. Now if you want to redirect your like after the user enters the form data, and if you want to redirect them to a different page, you can enter the URL here, but for the time being we are just going to leave it empty. And now I'm going to press the update button. Okay, so we have created our first function, and what the function does is it sends the data from the form to the database. So let's give it a try. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to preview it. Yeah. So now we have a form here, and I'm just going to enter my name and email address. And I'm going to press this submit button. Now you will see a toast here which says the form is being submitted, and it has been successfully submitted. So to view the data, what you can do is you can head back over to the database workspace and you can press this refresh button. As you can see here, the data has successfully reached our database. That's great, right? So in this video, I showed you how we can add a form to a project and how we can then connect a database to a project. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you will be exploring the forms and database in CodeDesign. Signing off, this is Manjunath, and I hope you have a great day. Cheers.